Are you ready to see probably one of the sexiest charts you have ever seen? And again, this thing is a bit of a hidden gem. Like you cannot find it on CoinMarketCap. Almost no mainstream YouTubers are talking about this thing. And look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the next altcoin that I think could explode in 2023. We're talking about before the end of the year. In fact, I'm so certain this altcoin is going to explode because it already has exploded significantly. I'm going to show you this, and I think the trend is going to continue throughout 2023, probably well into 2024, and maybe, just maybe, even into 2025. This altcoin gem, literally no one is talking about. It's a bit of a hidden secret. You can't find it nowhere listed on CoinMarketCap, for example. But get this. I believe it's probably the top performing cryptocurrency so far from 2022 to 2023 out of all of the altcoins that it currently exists on CoinMarketCap. I know that is saying something. I know that sounds incredible, but this thing has literally been going up in value at a rate of faster than 1% per day on average. This is one of the most stellar charts we're going to look at here in a moment. But before I get there, a couple things. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I am just a cryptocurrency enthusiast. Don't take financial advice from me. This video is not sponsored content, by the way. I promise to always disclose to my viewers if content is sponsored. I have nothing against sponsored content, but I will always disclose if I have content that I'm sponsoring. This is an altcoin that I'm personally invested in, so obviously I am biased. I don't think this is going to be like a forever play. This is not my long-term hodl strategy over the next several years. I do believe this cryptocurrency could potentially crash in value. I'm going to explain how I think that could happen towards the end of the video, but I think we may be several months, if not several years from that. And we're going to, once you understand the tokenomics and you understand why the price is going up, I think you're going to understand why this thing has been performing so well and potentially could perform so well for a very long time. Now, a couple things I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to talk to you about some of the strategies that I think are very important when you're looking for sort of hidden altcoin gems. What I'm going to do toward the end of the video is I'm going to sort of give you a generic strategy, and I'm not going to necessarily tell you what I'm doing. I want you to create your own strategy when you're investing in altcoins, but I'm going to give you sort of a strategy that I like to follow that I use with any altcoin, especially an altcoin that I think could appreciate a great deal in value. This is a strategy that I use because most people don't know when to buy and when to sell. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that towards the end of the video. Again, nothing in this video is financial advice, but this might be the best altcoin of 2023 and 2024 for that matter. Let's go ahead and get started. Are you ready to see probably one of the sexiest charts you have ever seen? And again, this thing is a bit of a hidden gem. Like you cannot find it on CoinMarketCap. Almost no mainstream YouTubers are talking about this thing. And look at this sexy freaking chart right here. This is nuts. We're talking about the elephant token. This is a real chart. This is directly from PancakeSwap, what has happened to the price. Now, the reason the price has done this, the reason it looks so smooth, I mean, it looks incredible. It looks like insane. The reason is this is a daily chart going all the way back to May so far, and it has just exploded. And if you come back here, by the way, let's go back to June. So we're looking at, I think today's June 19th, right? So if or September 19th. So if you go back to June, let's go to June 19th. Let's see how much this thing has actually went up just to show you. Right here, it has went up. If you look, they're about 166% in the past 90 days. That's almost 2% per day this thing has went up with very few red candles. So why has the elephant token went up so much? Okay, before I get there, here's a couple things you want to keep in mind. Anytime that you're looking to invest in altcoins, you want to look for altcoins that have a significant community behind it. You want to find altcoins where the community is almost a cult following, where people are using it, where people are hodling onto it. When you have a strong cult following, there's not a lot of people looking to dump the token. You also want to find tokenomics that are very important. You want to know what the supply is, how much of the supply is yet to be minted. You prefer to find tokens that all the supply has been minted and or there's a reason that the supply is decreasing. If you can ever find a token where there's a supply shock happening or a supply shock impending, then most of the time the price is going to just catapult once that supply shock hits. So if you have a strong community and then you have a potential supply shock, followed by, here's the next thing you want to look for. So community, tokenomics, you want to be at max supply or a decreasing supply. And then the other one is token utilization. Like what is the token getting used for and how is that use case likely to affect price. So we got community, we got tokenomics and token supply, and we got utilization of the particular token. Like, what is the purpose of the token? How's it getting utilized? Once you understand that, and I'm going to walk you through in a minute, you'll be able to see why the elephant token price is going up, because there is absolutely a cult-like community following this particular token. I mean, people think this is a key to wealth, and it might be, but at some point it comes to an end. If you love this elephant token and you're one of those people that you're literally worshiping the developer and you think he's, God's greatest gift to mathematics and economics, and then so be it. That's fine. There's not a problem there. You're part of why I want to invest in this thing. But at the same time, if you can be objective and you can say, okay, I understand why the price is going to go up, I want to be a part of that. And you can get into it understanding that you don't need to drink all the Kool-Aid, and you can still make a play here. You can still make a profit. Hopefully you can get out before it comes crashing down, because at some point it probably will come crashing down. At least that's my personal belief. But I'm going to teach you how you can be right even if you're wrong. Let's look at some of the tokenomics. So the elephant token is the primary treasury asset for something called elephant futures. Now, I'm not personally a big investor in the elephant futures myself, but let's take a look at what this is. Elephant money futures is a high yield cash flow engine that earns 0.5% daily on cash. Deposit 200 plus BUSD and immediately start earning yield insured by the elephant treasury. The elephant token is what they're referring to. I'll show you how that's connected in a moment. From there, you can use many strategies to grow a nest egg, smooth out cash flow, or simply grow profits before entering the elephant or the farm. So here's the key. Why do people do this? Because they want to be able to get an easy cash flow vehicle, and Elephant Futures provides that for a lot of people. And no doubt there will be people make money. I mean, there will be people make probably $1 million or more off this thing. I mean, that's probably going to happen. I'm not currently invested in Elephant Futures. I'm not going to tell you to invest in it or not to. I mean, don't take me for investment advice. But I like what Elephant Futures does. I like how it creates a community of people attracted to this thing. And I believe that we can benefit. It creates a great profit opportunity off the actual elephant token itself. Let's keep going. What is Elephant Money Futures? It's a high yield cash flow engine that earns 0.5% daily on cash. It's an immutable contract and yield generation. It's done 100% on chain. This provides a lot of trust for people. It's scalable and always open for business. Core yield generation is provided by an unstoppable and proven elephant treasury. Again, there we go, elephant token. Elephant token treasury buyback program. And we'll explain that in a moment. This is the key to why the elephant token is going up in value so much. By the way, one of the things I'm going to show you towards the end of the video is how I find funds to invest in altcoin plays like this, because these are high risk plays. So it's important that you have a renewable source of crypto income that you can use to make plays like this. And I'm going to show you towards the end of the video one of the strategies I use for that. So in the Elephant Money Futures, you deposit BUSD, you earn BUSD rewards. That's very important. You put in BUSD, you earn 0.5% in BUSD. 0.5% is paid out daily of your remaining balance. Auto compound rewards on every deposit. Claim it anytime down to the second. No fees or taxes of any kind. Yield is paid by a growing elephant treasury. 200 BUSD minimum deposit and a 1 million BUSD max balance. 90% of funds are sent to the BUSD treasury. That's important. 90% of funds are sent to the BUSD treasury for use by governance contracts. 10% of the funds are held in a BUSD buffer pool for yield repayment. 1% referral rewards paid out via Stampede. Yeah, not worried. There's no referral links in the description for this, ladies and gentlemen. Adaptive rate limiting once over 50,000 compounded yield versus deposits. Okay, 200% BUSD minimum deposit, 1 million BUSD max balance, 2.5 million BUSD max payout for a deposit, and 50,000 BUSD max daily claim. Okay, I'm not worried so much about this, but this is what's important. $200 minimum deposit, $200 minimum deposit. 90% of it goes to this treasury. So you deposit $200 and $80 goes here. $20 goes here. This is used to pay the short-term liabilities. This is what this buffer pool. So there's daily liabilities of 85,000. There's 110,000 in here that can get paid out. Okay. Well, what happens to this 90%? This is where the elephant comes in. This 90% that goes here, every day, once a day, 50% of this is used to buy elephant tokens. Why would the Treasury buy this asset? First of all, keep in mind, the Treasury is buying this asset directly from the DEX on Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap, for example. When it buys it directly from PancakeSwap, it forces price to go up. Also, the Treasury is holding on to the tokens. The Treasury has no plans to sell. The Treasury's sole purpose is to lock up supply and help support price. Why? Because the Treasury, I believe, is the largest holder of the elephant tokens. And as long as the Treasury is holding tokens and it's pulling tokens from the supply on PancakeSwap, for example, tokens that the Treasury is holding goes up in paper value. So there's 76 million USD right here, and it's going to keep going up every day. Two reasons. The Treasury is going to keep buying, and as the Treasury is buying, it's decreasing the supply on PancakeSwap. So therefore, every buy is going to push the price up higher and higher and higher, and you end up with this sort of a situation right here. And look at these green candles the past few days. They're even bigger the past few days. I think they're going to continue to grow. I think we may see 2% days, 3% days. That's going to happen a lot more, in my personal opinion. The theory behind this, which is a genius theory, by the way, I just don't know how well it plays out long term. I suspect it doesn't play out but so well, but the theory is genius. What a lot of these like ROI dApps or quote unquote Ponzi scams things will try to do is you put in $200, you get funds back, but they're really just paying you from every other depositor. What Elephant Money's doing is you deposit funds, the Elephant Treasury right here buys tokens, and those tokens are going up in value. So theoretically, if this pool gets used up, then the Elephant Treasury can sell a portion of their tokens back to this buffer pool to pay out daily liabilities. So keep this in mind. People are putting in BUSD, US dollar value. They're getting back US dollar value. So when you go and you put in your $200 or your $2,000, let's say $200, when you put in your $200, that $200 will get you, I don't know, 500 million tokens. 180 goes here, 20% goes here. That 500 million tokens or whatever it is, let's just say a year from now you start withdrawing and you want to withdraw that original, say $200. $200 will no longer, they won't need to sell 500 million tokens. Maybe they just sell 100,000 or 50,000 tokens because the price of the tokens has went up. Do you see the genius of that? I mean, it's pretty genius. And I'll talk about where I think this could go wrong, but I want you to take a look at this right here. This is someone who's an early investor. He said, I bought more than 1 trillion elephant tokens in April of 2022 for around 85,000 USD. Now, I want to point this out for a moment. A lot of people in crypto who are new to crypto who have only bought Bitcoin or only bought Ethereum, they turn their nose up at these projects and they don't know how to play them. And therefore, they miss out on insane potential gains, insane gains. This whale, anyone who can put $85,000 on this, I consider this a whale. This whale gets it. He gets it. So he goes in with $85,000. The price then was whatever that is, a lot of zeros and 85 per elephant token. That $85,000 investment is now worth $310,000 today. That is a 360% gain in 15 months. Not bad. What is even more impressive is that over the last 25 days, the value of my elephant token has gone up by 40%. In other words, the gains I've made over the past month happened at a pace which before took more than a year to accomplish. As elephant becomes more scarce, the impact on price is non-linear. That's important. As elephant becomes more scarce, the impact on price is non-linear. It starts going parabolic. It is increasing in speed and parabolic. At the pace elephant is moving, I think a 10x 1 year from now is very likely, barring some unforeseen black swan event. I agree with this, ladies and gentlemen. I believe barring some sort of unforeseen black swan event, which is always possible. This token was exploited early on in its development. So could that happen again? Absolutely. But barring some sort of black swan event, a 10x is absolutely possible. A 30 to 50x or more increase is very possible. I think that's optimistic, but I do think we could see 10x, maybe 20x. I think 30x starts to get outside the realm of possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. I could be wrong. The key, by the way, is not to predict buys and sells. The key is to have a strategy where you can win even if your assumptions are wrong. I'm going to talk to you about that strategy in a minute, but you got to be able to win, ladies and gentlemen, even if your assumptions are wrong. This is the chart compared to other assets. This is what Elephant basically has done since 1 year ago compared to Bitcoin, Apple, S&P 500, gold, Google, crude oil. It's pretty incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Now, is it going to keep going up like this? I think it's going to go up faster than this, but I do think it pulls back hard, and I'll show you why in a moment. Here's the thing. I'll try to link to this article down in the description. It's a Medium article from a guy who calls himself Elephant Money Trillionaire. So he wrote this on August 25th. Just so you know, he said 10 trillion. I think he said 10 billion tokens were worth 3,100. Right now, I think 10 billion. I looked earlier. I think it's $4,800 right now. I mean, it's going up significantly since he wrote this article on August 25th. So we see this thing going up. How in the world could it pull back, or what can cause it to pull back? I'm going to share my opinion on this. And those of you that are, love the elephant token, you may disagree with me, and that's okay. But I'm going to share my opinion on this, and then I'm going to tell you sort of the baseline strategy for me to play this. And then I'm going to share with you how to get some renewable funds that can allow you to keep investing into high risk plays like this. Because if you just come in and you're like, oh, I got $10,000 and you put it in and you lose that 10,000, or you're like, I got $500, you put that $500 in and you lose that $500, you're just out. But if you have a renewable source of income that's producing 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or $3,000 a month for you, then you can use that renewable crypto to make higher risk plays like this. So all too often people are taking, what I call their cornerstone funds, your funds that should be producing you a passive income or should be hodling Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they keep taking those cornerstone funds and they keep making high risk plays into altcoins, and then they're losing on the altcoins, and that's eating away at what should be their cornerstone portfolio. You don't want to do that. So I'll talk about that here in a minute. But first things first, why in the world could this pull back? Like, what could stop it? I think my theory, my opinion, what's ultimately going to happen here is that these liabilities are going to grow because people are going to start withdrawing. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a few weeks, few months. Might take, there's actually two scenarios here that could cause a token to pull back, but it might take weeks on weeks, or it might take months and months for this to happen. But at some point, this continues to grow. Now, you're thinking, but well, there's only 85,000. There's 76 million here. You're right. I think you're absolutely right about that. But here's what I'm thinking. As investors start hitting that max wallet amount, which I think the max wallet amount, I think it was 1 million, whatever it was. When they start hitting that max wallet amount, more and more people are going to start withdrawing. And when they start withdrawing, it's going to put more sell pressure on the buffer pool, the Treasury, and eventually the elephant Treasury. Now, what's going to happen is they use the Treasury to pay out. Then what's going to happen is they're going to be forced to sell on PancakeSwap to pay out. And I told you earlier, I said, yes, but if they sell, it will have a higher value. That's true initially, but at some point, as sell pressure keeps mounting, I think that we could see this price come crashing down as more and more people are withdrawing. And interestingly enough, it could be the result of its own success, because when you see these massive withdrawals and everybody's starting to pull out, at some point there's a critical mass moment. And my belief is at that moment, the price of the actual token itself is going to collapse. And then at some point, worst case scenario, at some point, this thing is completely underfunded. In my personal opinion, I think that may happen. The other scenario is that the elephant token, a lot of people like me are buying elephant token because of this smooth curve that people, if there's enough people buying, because there's a handful of people out there that, like myself, they're just buying the elephant token. I'm not looking to dump this token right away, that's for sure, but some people could be. And at some point, if this thing does a 10x, people are going to want to take profits. So if there's enough people out there taking profit, we may see a pullback. But I think if that happens, it's just going to be a minor pullback. Maybe it drops 5%, 10%, 15%, maybe even 20%. But I don't think that's going to collapse the whole thing. I think ultimately what collapses it is the success. The elephant money future is so successful that so many people are withdrawing that the Treasury is going to have to sell. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. But here's the key. You got to be right even if you're wrong. So here's my strategy for altcoins. I like to buy in and either buy in quickly or build a position pretty quickly. And I did this with elephant money. Over the course of about 6 weeks, I built a position up. I usually like to do it in about 2 or 3 weeks, but it took me about 6 weeks. And what I did was, with that position, I'm just holding it, and I'm going to let it 3x. Now this is, I did adjust this for elephant money, but generally speaking, I want to hold till we get to 3x. At 3x, I want to take out my initial investment at least and get to a break even. And then at that point, I'm going to let it go for a 10x. At 10x, you take out 50%. The key to this whole thing, though, is the initial deposit. The initial deposit, the initial money that you use to build the position cannot be so much money that you're scared to lose it. You have to know when you're making altcoin plays, unforeseen, black swan, crazy exploits, crap happens. So you cannot go in with, so much money that you're trying to swing for the Fed. The gentleman over here who went in with $85,000, and if he can sleep with losing $85,000, that's fine. Otherwise, he went in too heavy. And if you read this, he talks about he hasn't taken profit yet. I personally think that's a little bit foolish. Personally, that's me. I believe that you always need to get to a risk-free position as quickly as you can. That's why some people like to double and then take profit. But you got to go in with a small amount of money. It's not about knocking a home run every time. You go in to your favorite altcoin, let it double or triple. Take out your initial investment. Then let it 10x. Take out 50%. If it 10x's again, take out 50%. Don't worry about the fact that there's going to be guys who never sell and they're going to be talking about how much money they made and you're going to think you somehow missed out on it. Don't get greedy. Because for every guy who's like, I never sold, I never sold, I never sold, there's other guys who held on and got exploited time and time again in altcoins or held on after the crash or whatever. So the developer bank teller has had many projects get exploited. That alone is enough for you to be concerned that it could happen again. Yes, this has been audited, but an audit is not a fail-safe. So I think the way to play it is to have passive income. Those of you who follow my channel know that I believe in passive income. I believe that you should you should have multiple streams of passive income coming in every single month. And you should use that passive income to reinvest. And we're talking about real passive income. We're not talking about stuff like this that probably crashes at some point. We're talking about passive income plays that can last for many, many, many years and potentially, forever. Real yield type passive income plays. I've talked about real yield projects on this channel before. Some sort of real yield project that pays out dividends in Apex assets, not assets they control like the elephant token. They pay out a dividend in Bitcoin. They pay out a dividend in Ethereum or BNB, for example, like a real dividend, not a Ponzi-nomic type dividend. So one of those strategies that I use, for example, is copy trading. You can go down in the description, you can subscribe, and you can follow my journey as I copy trade. But we're talking about being able to follow traders that have a track record of being able to produce consistent profits trading. If you can build up a portfolio, that is just one income stream of these traders. But you're talking about getting a renewable source of income every single month that you can either build your position and use more traders, or you can withdraw funds and go into some sort of altcoin similar to the elephant token right here, for example. I'll put a link down to this in the description if you want to check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe elephant money is going to 10x as long as we don't have some sort of crazy exploit. I think this baby could 10x throughout 2023 and into 2024. I'm calling it now. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that bell notification icon and click all. And by the way, those of you that are subscribed, I will put out a video probably this week or next week, and I'll give more specifics about exactly what I'm planning to do, because actually part of this strategy right here, the profits are actually going to go back over here and invest in my traders. So I'll give specifics to those of you that are subscribed. I'll give some specifics in a future email. So thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Passive income is the best income. Crypto equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.